What's up, you guys? Sorry for the time away. I've had busy with life and other things, but I am back and ready to make some more videos for you all to enjoy. And we're starting off with some coverage for this weekend's Elimination Chamber. So, this video, you'll hear my predictions for all the matches, thoughts on all the matches, and what stories could go further, and a mini booking at the end. So, I hope you all enjoy. And this is what to expect at the Elimination Chamber. Just a quick FYI for the video. This is being filmed on February 26th, 2026. It is the Thursday. I do not know what is going to happen on tomorrow night's Friday Night SmackDown. If any new matches are to be added, I'll make sure to leave a pinned comment below explaining my prediction for that match. Starting off, we have the Men's Elimination Chamber, which this year will feature Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, Randy Orton, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and main event Jay Uso. I think this match has a pretty clear and obvious winner coming out of it, that being Cody Rhodes. They've been telling this Drew and Cody story for a very long time, since post SummerSlam, and it seems like they're finally going to culminate this story at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. It's a weird story. I don't know why it's lasted this long. I mean, also with the whole Drew gets rematch after rematch after rematch after rematch for the belt, and then all of a sudden Cody loses, and then Cody doesn't get an automatic rematch. He instead has to go through the Royal Rumble and go through the Elimination Chamber just to get a match with Drew. Doesn't make much sense, but another cool story they could tell through this is LA Knight winning. He's been wearing the shirt recently that says the Unchosen One. Maybe you could do a story with that, since Drew's first gimmick in the WWE was the Chosen One by Vince McMahon, and that could be a fun story. The Elimination Chamber is also a good time to elevate other feuds, and I think the two wrestlers who could feud together going in to WrestleMania or maybe post WrestleMania is Randy Orton and Trick Williams. I think you could have a little, the grizzled veteran babyface against the young cocky heel. Could be a fun story to tell going into WrestleMania. A cool spot I thought of was remembering the couple of weeks ago on Raw. Uh, One of the El Grandes. I don't know the difference between them. I think it was the Tyler Bate. I think it was whoever Tyler Bate is. Jumped off the top rope to do like a frog splash almost, and then Javon intercepted him with the OG cutter. Maybe you could do a spot similar to that with the two of them, maybe off the pod with him and Jey Uso. That could be pretty fun. But yeah, realistically, it's looking like it's gonna be Cody versus Drew at Mania. So my prediction is going to be Cody Rhodes to win for him versus Drew at Mania, or him versus Drew versus Jacob Fatu in a triple threat match, which would be pretty cool. Next up, we have the Women's Elimination Chamber match, which this year will feature Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. And the big name not mentioned, who's probably going to miss Mania, is Bianca Belair. The injury, which I believe was a finger injury, appears to be worse than we assumed, and she is not going to be at Mania from what we know of. And that was everyone's prediction of who Jade was going to face. So it's slightly unfortunate, but we move forward. And who I think is going to win the Chamber and face Jade at WrestleMania is going to be Tiffany Stratton. It makes too much sense. She just returned at the Rumble. Jade finished her feud with Jordan Grace. They're on a collision for their rematch of the match they had at Saturday Night's Main Event this past November for the belt. And yeah, Tiffany should win this match. I'm a little surprised about Kiana James and Raquel Rodriguez winning their qualifying matches. I really thought it would be like Charlotte or Io who won those matches, but glad to see those guys getting singles pushes as opposed to not just being Liv's sidekick or Julia's sidekick and manager and all that stuff. I think the fun part about this match is everyone besides Tiffy is in a tag team right now, which shows you how wonderful the tag division is right now. And please, WWE, don't mess this up again. And so I think you could really use this chamber as a launching point for a multi-team tag team match at WrestleMania. Maybe like a tag team turmoil style, maybe a tag team ladder match. Who knows? But I think it could be really interesting. But overall, I think the winner of this match is going to be Tiffany Stratton to go on to face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, for the WWE Women's Championship. Next up, we have some one-on-one matches with Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee for the Women's IC title. And finally, we are getting the one-on-one match between these two. In my first video I've done on this channel, covering Crown Jewel, I mentioned this and mentioned how this match should happen, why it should happen, and, rumoring it, but we're getting it now. And, after the mixed tag match at WrestlePalooza, and now after her appearance in War Games, and now Becky also regaining the title from Maxine, AJ Lee has her first singles match in WWE since, according to my research, December 14th, 2014, which, damn, that was a really long time ago. That's a little over 11 years now. I feel old. But anyways, AJ Lee should win this match. First off, it's in Chicago, which makes sense, but also it's her first singles match back, and I think a nice heartwarming moment would be nice. Realistically, she should immediately lose the belt back to Becky, probably at Mania. But I think if with AJ being at Raw this past week and not wrestling, you have a really good shot of her being around for most of the Mania build. And so you can have AJ Lee win the belt, have the hometown crowd go crazy, and then Becky Lynch can win the belt back at Mania. And then AJ could go on to feud with other stars like Bayley, Roxanne Perez, the others who she wants to feud with. And yeah, so I think AJ Lee is going to win the IC title against Becky Lynch. Next, we have the main event of the show, what I think should be the main event of the show, CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. Isn't it nice to see Finn Balor get this main event push? It's really nice. But yeah, Punk's gonna win. It's in Chicago. It's not that hard. They're doing Punk Roman at Mania. I find it very hard to believe if they change that with Finn. Yeah, Punk should win. It's in his hometown. A last shot of the show should be, Punk and AJ maybe both holding the belts up. Cool thing. How the match should end. Gosh, Dom should cost him the match. Like, maybe you could do it accidentally, or you could have him like really cost him the match. And then Finn turns face. You have Dom as the heel, and then JD's the stuck in the middle, like, what to do. Which could be cool, but to build to a match with those two at Mania. But yeah, Punk, this should be a phenomenal match. Punk should win and send the hometown crowd home happy. And last, but certainly, actually, it is probably least, the crate. I have no idea what the crate is. There's so many rumors of what the crate is. I've heard it's Danhausen in the crate. I really hope there's no one, like an actual person in the crate. That'd be a little crazy. The person was in the crate on Raw, and then, let's ship him to SmackDown. And Nick Aldis like, no, ship it back to Raw. And then Adam Pearce is like, fine, send him to Chicago. We'll open it at the Chambers. I hope there's not a person in there. That'd be pretty cruel and fucked up. But I do have a little story and a little booking I've made for the crate. And so what I think should happen is this should be in the middle of the show. So the first two matches happen, and then we have the crate segment where they roll the crate out to the ring. And then out comes Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis to open the crate. And in the crate, they find three specific items. The first item is a pair of black and yellow trunks. Ooh. Which is then followed up by a leather jacket, which is covered in LED lights. And then the last item they pick up is a clipboard. And as they lift the clipboard, they can see the back of it, which reads the list of Jericho. Then the lights go, and then the intro to Judas by Fozzy plays. And Chicago should lose their mind at Chris Jericho. And yeah, Chris Jericho returns. As his debut AEW gimmick, Le Champion. He doesn't have to actually be the champion, but that kind of style, with the inner circle style of Jericho, because he was such a good heel. He should be a heel. He was really good at it, and the learning tree, no, and I think Y2J is a little past him right now. I think it doesn't make much sense for WWE to bring him back as Y2J, besides just the nostalgia pop. Like, was he doesn't do all that stuff really anymore. But yeah, Jericho returns here. You could build to a feud at Mania, maybe LA Knight. Those promos would be absolutely incredible. Um, but yeah, Jericho returns, and that's all I got for you all. I really appreciate you all. Again, I apologize for the very long time away. But I promise you, I have more videos in the works, and you should be getting one every week. So tune in next Friday for my review of the Elimination Chamber, and I will see you all in the next one.